So we're live, yes.
8 in the morning.
Yeah.
So that means I've got to leave at 6. You know,
Mm.
I can't drive at 6 o'clock in the morning, but you know,
Oh, it's a great
I
time to drive. It's a
hey, is
great
it?
time. Yeah, it's a great time to drive because it's like that. It's quite
There's
quiet, and
nobody
it's
back.
like,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So
Um,
it's sometimes these things you think, oh no, it'll be annoying, but actually, it's so nice because it's actually deserted.
when
It's
do I?
like driving an earlier hour, like 2 o'clock in the morning and stuff like that. It's just really lovely because it's just deserted. But 6 o'clock if it's dawn as well, you
Yeah,
actually have the daylight and it's deserted. So
I'm still not convinced. That's still a wee bitty early for me.
yeah,
A wee bitty early.
yeah.
Um, yeah, and trying to get a decent drink at that time. Nothing will be open. They'll all be in their beds asleep. Hello, everybody. Sorry, I'm talking. I'm talking to
We're just chatting away, so like nothing to do with books. We're talking about driving, but well, no, it's performance. You're going to a performance.
I'm going. Yes, I'm being filmed because
Everything,
that's
everything we do is connected to books, really, isn't it? Somehow.
yes, that's the kind of star I am.
Hi, Sophie. Hi, May.
I can't
Lovely to see
stand
you
it.
all.
Oh, hi Tony. Hi Sophie. Hi Mary. Hi Vicky. You gorgeous people.
Lovely, yes. So yeah, so we're going to talk tonight about marketing. We didn't have our usual 30-second before we start. Oh, what are we talking about again? So,
No, no, it was
but
the
we've
usual.
actually,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, we've both had a book launch recently, and we've got quite a few people have actually had new books out. So we thought it might be a good idea to actually do a chat about marketing and how to market books, and have a little bit of a natter about that.
Absolutely. I'm trying
So.
to my light now because it's shining on my.
You're really conscious of it now because it's
Very
like
conscious. Can you see it?
oh look you've got your background, you've got your
I've got my
just
back sorted. Yeah.
yeah, for those that don't know, I did a workshop on Watch the Birdie earlier this week, which is actually, and I did it sort of slightly privately with Lee because she missed it. So, but I was sort of like, we were talking about the background and get the angle right and get the lighting right and not reflections on your glasses because that's always, I don't know, I can't even do it.
I had to do major things in the house. I even moved 2 bookcases
Which
to
you can
put
see
them.
behind you.
I know. Look, if I move like that, there, you
Probably
can
the other way. There you go. Yeah, you can see it over your shoulder.
see it
Yeah,
over my shoulder. So
and you can
yeah,
see your book. You can see your books are actually on the bookshelves as well, which is fantastic.
absolutely. Yeah. Makes me look
Perfect. See,
horrified.
but that is marketing.
Yes.
That's we have this space around us when we're doing Zooms and things like that. So actually use the space. I mean, my books are over one shoulder, my books are over another shoulder. It's like, literally it's subliminal books,
Yeah.
everywhere. And it's, it's the space, use it, So yeah, it's good one to do. So I was just seeing there's some other people saying hi. So hi, Kate.
Like,
Hi, Beastie.
hi,
Yes, you have done it. You're all right, Beastie. You're there. So yeah, there's sort of all sorts of things you can use for so marketing and launching your book. There are so many different ways of marketing your book, but one thing that I want to say is that the most important thing to know about marketing your books is who is your reader. And we've had this conversation with Susan. Susan actually knows her reader down to her pant size.
Yeah.
Was she called Laura?
Breakfast. Yeah, what they eat for breakfast, which part of the country, what their ages are, even when their birthdays are, I think.
Yeah, but no, she actually has she writes for one woman called Nora or Morag.
Yeah.
So it's like you need to know who your audience is. You need to know who. I know that 84% of my audience is female. I know that more than 90% of them are over 30. So it's like I know there's an age group, and I know that the majority of people who like my book are empaths. So that when you target and you realize who your reader is, you can then work out how to get to them more efficiently. So for instance, if you are writing a book on car manuals
As you do.
I'm thinking things off the top of my head. So yeah, if you think about writing a book by car manuals, then actually one of the best ways to advertise might be on the radio, because that's when people are in cars and the people that have cars listen to the radio. So what's that? But you got to sort of think, what do my readers also do? So in a over 30 female Facebook. You've got Facebook, you've got Instagram, you've got Twitter. All right. But if your books are going to be for under 20s, Facebook is not going to be any use to you.
Yeah.
Because the under 20s don't do that nowadays. I have a knocking at my door. It's my dog. Hold on. Let's see. Come on then. Nope. Not a dog, it's a cat. I do apologize. Right. But yeah, so the more you know about your audience, the more you know about what they do when they're not reading your books, the more you've got a chance of getting to them. Yeah.
The question is, how do you get to know about your audience then?
Well, who did you write it for to start with? So yours your book. Who did you write your book for?
I wrote my book for people. So probably I was aiming at 35, 40 plus, mostly in that area, and mainly for women, because it's about motherhood, but it's about motherhood in a particular era.
Yeah. Okay. So you've got an idea. So most people, when they're writing a book, have an idea of who it is.
The dog in the background.
It's not just the dog. I've got 2 cats now and the dog around my feet. The cat's going in one door and actually demanding to go out the other door. The dog's just following the cat. So
I just give my dog phones to keep them out.
Well, I shut the door to keep them out, but that was why the door was rattling because they were pushing against the door. Yeah. Can you see this? Right.
Yeah, go on, honey. She wants to be a star of the show.
She does. So shall we just lift you up? Come here. Come on. You come on. Up. You come. Oh, there we go. Right. She's a bit big for a lap dog, but there you go. Little cuddles. But yeah, what were we talking about?
I was sort of saying I was aiming at women 35 years plus, that age group, because usually women of that age group will have had children and might be able to understand motherhood or possible difficulties with motherhood. They'll be able to relate to it. So yes, age 35 plus, empaths, hopefully dog paths as well, people that really like dogs. Any age, any country. Any country. So yeah, it's mostly women.
English speaking.
English speaking. I was going to say
not because of any kind of racism, but purely because your book isn't translated yet.
No.
All we're going to get now is comments about this one. We're getting comments about beautiful woofer. She's just this is my life partner. Most life partners come and sit in your lap and demand to. So one of the things you were talking about dogs, actually, strangely enough. Go on, you get down. One of the things about it is that most empathic people tend to like animals. And one of the things you've done, which I think is really, really clever, is you've started a Twitter account for one of your dogs.
Yes. Do you know what? Twitter's hard to work. It really is hard to work. So I started this account for my dog. It was really as a joke. Hadn't really thought of it strategically. And within 24 hours, I've got probably over 360 followers already.
Yeah. And it will grow. And it will grow. You do cute stuff, you do, etc. It will grow because people like that. And and that's the thing, is that those are empaths. They are probably, your target audience, etc. So it's a great way of actually doing that. I'm so sorry. This is just like chaos here. But yeah. Yes. All going in different directions the whole time. And then sun out as well. See, I've got back in my office and I'm actually not having people come out behind me or walking behind me in their pajamas while I'm on there. But now because anyway, but so it's but using that understanding of what your audience is having, the dog, and that's going to be a real hook to it, is a way of actually really doing it. So somebody is asking some questions here. Kate was saying, I write young adult mainly, so any ideas gratefully received. So yes, okay, so TikTok is one, and I kind of go TikTok, because it's like my 18-year-old, 19-year-old now. Oh god, she does TikToks all the time, and she does all these sexy dances and stuff like that. But actually, you can do little video of your book, and a little kind of catchy. I mean, get your kids to help you, because I can't do it. But that's one way of young adult. You need to tap his Snapchat, Instagram, TikToks, things, the memes. Try and find anything you can to hook into. That's what they like. So use the medium that they're going to see.
Yeah.
So
Kate, I would suggest your Mantha's daughter. She'd probably be well up for it. So put her in class, get her on it. Just give her some main themes and say, okay, I'm looking at herbalism. I'm looking at interesting things you can do with that. All of that kind of thing. Even if it's just interesting things that you can do with herbs, things that you might have referred to in the book. Get her to sort of tie into that.
Yeah,
and that's where to bring
anything. And if your market is for teens or young adults or anything else, then talk to teens and young adults and find out what mediums they're using to get information about stuff. So I mean, I'm a 55-year-old, so I'm not the best person to ask, sort of a young adult. But certainly, if I was writing a young adult book, I would actually be quizzing my teenagers and saying, right, come on, what do you use? What, I mean, my son talks about Discord, and, sort of like there's also with younger people advertising on games. Don't know if you've seen this, but if you play any of these games, an advert comes up, and it's this, that, and the other. That could be quite lucrative. So you see what I mean? You need to be able to know who your audience is, so you can then actually meet them where they are playing already.
Bea and Ingrid, sorry, Kate, Bea and Ingrid would be your first place to start.
They'd be brilliant, yeah.
They'll have a better handle on it. They'll be able to understand their way in and out of TikTok and Insta quite easily, and it won't take them 5 minutes to actually put it up. Whereas where I'm just trying to learn Twitter myself, it took me all day to figure out how to follow someone or get someone to follow me. And then I'd be running around the front room. Every time I got a follow, it'd be like, oh my God. Not really the right way to go about it, but yes,
it is. I mean, that's how you do it. You start and you just build up. You build up a following. As I say, it's like when I first started on Twitter, when I self-published The Bigamist in 2017, I had, I think, 50 followers or something on Twitter, and I really didn't get it. I was like, I don't really know how this works. Why are we communicating people with 50 characters as it was at the time? And I just started, and I just started following other people that were saying interesting things about personalities, and and then I started getting into sort of following the resistance in that's not me, that's the cat. I don't even know if you can hear that.
I thought it was something else, Mary. I thought it was something else. I was thinking she's been having far too many lentils lately.
He's cross because I won't let him out. So he's liable to attack me as well, which is a bit nerve-wracking. I'm having a disaster with this. Oh, right. Anyway, what were we saying? Where were we?
So we were talking about Twitter. Yeah, Twitter. Because Twitter's. I've only just got it since I signed up my dog for Twitter, and all of a sudden, all these people came from nowhere, and I was following them, who were following me, who were following, and I picked up their followers as well. So, and I must admit, I've become a bit obsessed about it now. It's like, oh, got another follower. Oh, isn't this marvelous?
I used to always do. I mean, for like 3 years, I used to do Twitter about at least an hour a day. But it was actually really, really good for book sales. And what would happen is I would comment on something, or I would. So sorry, the cat is just mental. So yeah, I would comment on something to do with politics in America, for instance, and I got a really good following in America because everyone was talking about narcissism and psychopathy. Can't imagine why. 2016 to 2020. Yes, but but as a result, it was like I would just like something or comment on it, and then the people would actually go, "Oh, who's this?" And they would look at my account, see I'd written a book, and go, "Ooh, that sounds interesting," and would buy a copy of my book. Yeah. So it was never me advertising or saying buy my book. I mean, I occasionally did an event or something, but it was actually really just engaging with people and having conversations with people who then said, that sounded quite clever and something I'm interested in, and don't need to see I'd written a book and buy it. So yeah, I mean,
yeah. Well, I'm going to engage with the dog community by putting up pictures of the willow dogs that I've made out of willow. Yeah. And sort of put pictures of the willow dogs being made and talking about how my dog's feeling a bit insecure about me making the willow dog. It should be funny in and of itself. And then it'll say, then I'll talk about mum's written a book and she wants to advertise the book, or she's play and she's written a book. So
yeah, I would put your mum's written a book as your pinned tweet. So you have in Twitter, you have a chance to pin one tweet like you do with Facebook. You pin one tweet to the top. So whatever you're wanting people to see most, pin that to the top. And you can leave it for years, or you can change it every week, whatever you like. But that's the post that says, "Mum's written a book, here's where to get it," and you put the links in. And that's sort of a really good way to do it. And therefore you don't need to say ever, "Mum's written a book," because it's just there.
Yeah.
So
I didn't know that.
See, this is the whole point of this. We're learning things,
and it's got dogs in.
Well, you can, it's like Rufus is not actually in the book, but he could always be. You could actually go always in your follow-up book, Blossom on the Wind, which I can't wait to read. I'm sure you can't wait to write. But what was that?
I've got to get on with it. Just have to get my head down and write it. Yeah.
But you could have Rufus in that book.
Yeah.
So because I know that Frankie in your book actually she gets a dog.
She's going to be in the trilogy. The second one will be my first dog that I ever owned.
Yeah.
That'll be Ed.
But you could call him Rufus.
I could.
Do you see what I mean? Because it's not a true story.
No.
So you can have fun with it. It's based on some of your life, but as a result, you could have Rufus come into it, and that again would, you're building a following for the second book. Yeah. Because he can actually start saying, "I'm going to be featured in a book."
Yeah.
But I think I know you well enough to know that you'll feel like you're betraying Eddie.
Yeah. Ed.
Yeah.
He was a dog and a half. Honestly, he's half dog, half biscuit. That dog. It was great. Oh yeah, dog can review my book. How amazing! How many of you out there have got dogs that are capable of reading?
Well, why not? If they've got a Twitter account, they're capable of reading. So
you've got a dog. I know you have.
Vicky's saying you can then put the dog's review on your back cover.
I love it. Oh God, that's perfect. Yeah. Yeah,
absolutely. Sophie's asking, can we have a how to use Twitter class? Yeah, sure. We could do that actually. That's not a bad idea, because I mean it's one of those things. It's like you just learn as you go along, but it might be quite useful to have a kind of chase it up thing.
That would be it would be good.
Just gonna write that. So
tweet mistakes.
To tweet or not to tweet, that is the question. So Twitter. Okay, I'll see if I can do that. So where were we?
Let's use Twitter marketing because we were talking about dogs.
Sophie says, I'll read it to the dog.
Yeah.
Hang on, I'm going to go back over some of the comments here. How do you pin a tweet? Okay. We can do that in a Twitter workshop, but basically you have an option on Twitter. I'm going to get it in front of me so I can make sure that I can tell you the right thing. On your profile, you have, no, can you see this? So on your profile, your pinned tweet is the one at the top, right? And it's like, I think you can take any one, and I think it's the three, yes. So you take any tweet, and the three dots, I'm trying to do this in reverse, the three dots there,
Yeah.
you are there, you click on that and it gives you all these drop down options. And the second one from the top is pin to your profile. Do you see that?
Okay.
Okay. So that's how you pin, and you can only pin one. You can only pin one tweet. So that's how you do it. Simple as that. Yeah. So and that then becomes your main advert.
Yeah.
Yeah. So but yeah, so maybe we should actually have a Twitter workshop or something. That would be quite good. I can't seem to go backwards. So if I've missed your tweet, if I've missed your comments, I'm so sorry. You're very welcome, Mandy. So Ginny's saying something. Lee, Henry, and I have been sketching for your dog charity. Can you send me where to send them?
Yes, I will. I will.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm glad you understood that. I'm not sure what that was. All right. Brilliant. So yeah. So know your audience, and if you know your audience, you know how to get to them. If your book's like mine, over 30s and these as well, I was very, very successful with Facebook advertising, and not specifically Facebook advertising, but boosting a post on Facebook. Son's now watching TV. So actually by actually boosting a Facebook post, and there is certain techniques to use if you're going to do anything, whether it's a tweet or it's a Facebook ad or it's I was going to say a twerking, what's it called? What's it called?
Instagram or something.
No. It's the TikTok. There you go. So whatever it is, you have to follow 4 steps. Okay. And the 4 steps are called the AIDA principle, AIDA, right? So that's attention, desire, interest, desire, action. Okay. Yeah. So you have to grab the attention, because if it doesn't grab the attention, people don't see it and they're flicking through things all the time. Right. Yeah. I always used to say, when friends of mine were applying for jobs when I was younger, is put a condom in with your CV. So, and they were like, what? And I was like, well, you'll get an interview, because I'll be dying to see who would do such a thing. It's just like, do something that makes you stand out. Do something that makes you, it doesn't have to be even to do with your book or anything else, but it has to be something that will resonate with your audience. So do something that will make you stand out, right? So grab the attention's first step. And if you don't get that, nothing else will follow anyway.
Yeah.
Create an interest. So you need to know what your interest, what your readers' interests are. So if you know your readers are empaths, then dogs are a good one. So, you know, you're hitting on this really well with yours, with the dogs and stuff, because that's a great way to do it. If you know your readers are young adults, then that's not necessarily going to be such an attractive thing, but maybe, you know, sort of like the twerking might be. I don't know. You could twerk with your book in your hand. Sorry, I'm actually picturing Kate doing that. So
you'll put your back out, dear. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Put my back out. Yeah, so that's good. So attention, interest, and then desire. So you want to sort of get the benefits. What are the benefits of them buying your product, whatever it is? And in this case, it's a book. You know, sort of, is it going to be? Sorry, I know, Kate. I'm just. Oh, that's why it was making me laugh, Kate. Right. But I can't twerk. It's like my children have tried to teach me. It's actually quite funny. That in itself would grab the attention, you know.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's finding something that grabs the attention, something creates an interest. The desire is the benefit. So, you know,
Yeah.
it's going to grip them. It's going to excite them. It's going to answer some questions they have in their life. So, you know, with mine and the psychopath, it's very much about, you know, you'll find out why your relationships went wrong, you know, etc. So it's that kind of thing. What desire is it going to, what need and benefit is it going to satiate in them?
Mine would be dogs and how they support family together, or, you know, how the importance of dogs in the family.
Yeah. I mean, and very much, you know, making people feel that they're not alone if they had a rough relationship with a mother. You know, sort of like, so it's actually making them feel, actually, it wasn't me, this is not personal, it's something, I'm not alone. And the last step, the fourth one, is action. So you want them to take action. So biggest mistake people make is that they don't put the action in. So they tell other people about their book, but they don't say you can get it here. So you need a link to your Amazon or your Scaramouche or your Whitewater or wherever it's being sold, Waterstones, doesn't matter, but choose something, your website, choose something that they can then click immediately, one click, they can get to the book sale. All right. If they have a click that goes to your website that then goes to another page.
You're frozen. I'll keep talking. She's frozen.
Have I
yeah, if you have a click that goes elsewhere, you'll lose them.
Yeah. All right. So make sure you try and do it within one click. Yeah. Does that make sense? So it depends on, has anybody else got books that they're trying to promote at the moment that, you know, is a different category that we can sort of brainstorm around for, as opposed to just Kate twerking on TikTok? I think Kate's going to give me one of these.
Kate, you could threaten to twerk if they don't buy your book.
that might work. Honestly, I could see that actually going, you know, you holding the book and going, you know, buy this or I'm going to twerk. So yes, May saying kids books. So, and Tony saying kids books as well. So kids books for little people. It's applauding us. But yeah, so books for younger people. Again, it's not the kids that buy the books.
It's the parents. So you're targeting the parents.
So you're targeting parents.
Yeah. So you've got to, I mean, in storytelling, you've got to do, in a sense, the blurb will sell it. You know, come and read, or read all about Roly Poly the bear and why Roly Poly's Roly Poly. I don't know, that kind of stuff. Or how Roly Poly stopped being Roly Poly, or got stuck in a hole, or something really exciting, or come and help pull Roly Poly. I don't know why I'm stuck on this bloody Roly Poly.
I don't know either, but yeah, I mean, so it's the parents you're actually promoting to, and with the attention, interest, desire, action thing, you're going. It's a nice cartoon, it's a nice picture, it's something that attracts them for the attention, but the interest and desire is different, because with parents, you want your child engaged, you want them entertained, you want to fill up some of their time.
Yeah.
You know, sort of like, you know, one of the best adverts you could have for a children's book is to actually say, you know, this is a book that your child, you know, will want to read on their own, you know, and giving you time for a cup of tea, you know. you can have a hot cup of tea, you know, if you've got children. I remember never having a hot cup of tea, you know, and it's, I always drank cold tea. And if I didn't drink it cold, I wouldn't drink it at all. So, you know, it's that kind of understanding that what parents are wanting, you know, are they wanting a little bit of peace and quiet to themselves? You know, are they wanting that lovely moment with their child, you know? So you're actually targeting them specifically that way.
Yeah.
So it's not so much about the subject of the book. or the pictures at all. When you're promoting it, it's actually about what the parents will get from that experience with their child, you know. So it's an interesting one doing children's books. So I'm going back over the comments again. Beastie saying poetry and short stories. Again, you've got to think about who your audience is, because poetry and short stories is a medium, but not actually doesn't tell you who your audience is.
Yeah, it depends on what the short stories are as well. The nature of the short stories, if they're aimed at young adults, or short stories for children. So you've got to be clear on who exactly you're targeting there.
Yeah.
To enable you to sort of go drill down a little bit more. Yeah.
Yeah. And again, there's things like, if it's for children, the parent magazine, you know, or doing visits with nurseries or schools, you know, it's actually getting out into that audience that you're actually, and engaging with the audience that you want to sell to. And with authors, it's like, we're strange. As authors, we're not selling our books, we're selling ourselves. You know, people engage with us as authors and then go, oh, I think she had something interesting to say, I'll buy her book, you know. And that's the same with children's authors as well.
Yeah.
All right. You know, the children's books, a lot of it goes by word of mouth, but a lot of it's actually, you know, I mean, things like parent magazine, getting articles in that, you know, writing articles for websites that do parenting. You know, this was, you know, article written by who's you know, Beastie Lissick, who's the author of XYZ. You know, so being able to get out and engage with your audience. And there's a lot of magazines and websites, etc., that take guest posts. They love them. You know, sort of like, you know, being able to sort of give somebody a guest post, it saves them having to actually create more material for their website that month. So, you know, but know your audience, know exactly and specifically who your audience is. It's really, really important.
Tony, sorry, Kate, you've asked for, do I know any covens? Actually, I do, sorry. Because myself and Mary Craig are actually working with a witch at the moment on another project. It's to do with standing stones. You're trying to change that. Yeah, it's to do with standing. So reach out to Mary, and Mary will be able to put you in touch with our witch that we know. She's really friendly and she's lovely. So that might help.
Fantastic. Yeah, and that again taps you into another. I mean, they may know of Facebook groups, they may know of, you know, etc. And you just literally ask. There's so many people sort of, you don't get if you don't ask, you know. And ask people for reviews, ask people for quotes. The reviews situation is, the more reviews you get on your book on Amazon, the more Amazon promotes your book.
Yeah, it's crucial. So those of you that have got my book out there, please put your reviews up.
Yes.
How long does it take for a review to go up? Because I've had a couple of people say to me over the past day, oh, we've put a review up and I can't see it. So
it usually is an hour or two, but I've noticed lately it's about 3 or 4 days, and I think that's because there's a backlog, or there's something going on. Amazon are prioritizing certain things, so it may be that they've lost a few members of staff who are checking that they have people that sort of check the reviews.
Okay.
They're getting really, really, really tough on not allowing you to review your own book, or I've been banned from reviewing certain books because my name is mentioned in them, because I've helped people with it, because they've mentioned me in the acknowledgements. And so when I try and review it, they go, you're not allowed to review this book. And it doesn't tell me why, it just says no, which is a bit frustrating sometimes. So yeah, it's like they're checking these are genuine reviews, and they're not just friends and family saying, yes, we like this book. So they're getting really very precious about it, which is good because it means they are genuine reviews.
Someone said my last 2 reviews took 2 days to show up. Okay, I'll be patient then. So
it does take some time to do that. So just bide your time, it will happen. So, Beastie saying shy bear and spit newt.
Right. Yeah. Go on.
True. Yeah. So ask for reviews, ask for comments, ask people to share your posts. So
Yeah.
ask people, say, I'm trying to get the word out there about my new book. Can you share my post? Right. So you want to try and including these, yeah. So try and get that ball rolling. The biggest and hardest part of publishing any book is getting the first few sales, getting that first. It's like pushing a boulder uphill. Once you get to a certain point, the boulder starts to have momentum of its own, but it's getting that initial push that's really hard. So just keep at it and keep going and keep whittling away at it, and find, with the Facebook advertising, I used to do 2 Facebook adverts at the Facebook boosts at the same time, and I would see which one got a result. And again, that's going to have to be a workshop sometime, just on that. But it there are ways that you can, having different links, so you can see which link is getting the more hits.
Yeah.
And then I would go, okay, so that one's working. So I'll discard that one. This one's working, and I'll sort of say, okay, well, I've got that element and this element, and I split it again, and then see which one works. Okay, so it's working because of this, and then I would split it again. And it's called A/B advertising.
Okay.
And it's a really good way of just seeing, and that's why I know so much about my audience, is because I know what was working and what wasn't. Like Stanley Yelnuts. It's from Holes. Are you impressed? I know that. Stanley Yelnuts and the pig. Yeah. Yes, Kate, it is. And if anyone doesn't know and hasn't read Holes, fantastic book, one of my favorites, and well worth a read. Yes. Oops, I double clicked it there. So from Holes. Okay, we've got quite a few comments. I'm just
Mary
trying
gets a star there for getting holes.
What?
Mary gets a star there for getting holes.
Oh, it's one of the most beautifully written books. It's like primary 7 age, 10-year-olds book. And it is just one of the most beautifully crafted, beautifully written books. I'm in awe, and just wonderful book. It's just gorgeous. There's a couple like that, and it's like, so Kate agrees with me. See, it's brilliant. She actually wrote some teacher resources for Holes, apparently. So so it's a massive subject, marketing. It really is a massive subject. There's so much. There's so much you can do. And there's so much. Sorry, I'm dominating this conversation, Lea. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I think just start where you feel most comfortable and just keep pushing. Because if you start looking at everything and thinking, oh my God, I've got all this to do, you'll feel overwhelmed. So start at the simplest point and just keep pushing. So you might want to start with a little bit of Facebook. Like I've been doing Facebook. I've been looking at Amazon, Goodreads. I've been looking at that, and then I've started to branch out. As you know, I'm going into Twitter, and I'm going next, after I've mastered Twitter, I'm going into Instagram, and I'll be taking the dogs into Instagram as part of the roundup, so to speak. And before I know it, I'll have dominated the world, and I'll be, I'll be next #1 author.
Excellent. That's good to hear. There's book tasters on Twitter as well. There are groups you can use, which are things like NetGalley and Goodreads and things like that, which you can get free readers on, which gets you some reviews started. So I mean, there are things you can do to get the reviews started, but just getting your info.
Is Roofy's Gone Walkies. So the handle is at Roofy's Gone Walkies. And you'll see a blonde looking dog, 2 dogs sitting on a cushion, a pink cushion. Those are mine.
I'm just trying to find because I know I'm
There's
following you.
Rufus W, I
It's
think.
just Rufy's W. Yes, it's that's that. Oopsie, that little photo there. Can you see that?
Yeah, yeah. Rufy's gone walkie.
So there you go.
Yeah.
That's that one. Very cute. I might have to follow suit and actually get Honey a Twitter account.
Yeah, it's worth it. It's just for the fun of it, really.
Yeah, it's worth it. I thought I could laugh. I mean, I'm enjoying watching you on Twitter with Rufus. So wonkies. Nikki's saying wonkies. So brilliant. Okay, so I mean, yeah, I mean, what can we cover in half an hour or 40 minutes? We've gone way over. But yeah, it's like it's maybe something worth again, you know, we might do in a workshop or something. I think we probably, if we did do it in a workshop setting, we would want to split it into different genres.
Yeah, different aspects of it. Yeah.
So we could do a general marketing. I mean, we could do a course in marketing, to be honest. I mean, there's so many different aspects. I mean, over the years I've done with the Facebook boosting and stuff like that, I've done learning. I mean, like months of learning, just not just how to use Facebook, but actually what and how to phrase it and how to target people and stuff. So but yeah, so we'll look into that, because I think it's like it's nice to touch on bits and pieces here, but I mean we just can't get into too much depth. So brilliant. Okay, so thank you guys for coming along. And
Rufy's gone walkie. Rufy's gone walkie.
Rufus Skywalker, but it's at Rufy's W, so RUFIESW.
Yeah.
You can click. You can post a comment on the Facebook comments below this video, Lee. Once we finished, yeah, once we finished.
All right. Okay.
So you could put the link in there. Yeah.
Okay.
You getting all tech savvy. So brilliant. Thank you guys, and thank you, Tony. So brilliant. We'll talk to you all again next week.
Okay, guys, you have a great week, and we'll see you soon. Keep writing.
Bye.
Sorry. Bye.